All right, so for my skinny guys, this video is for you. We're going to talk about how to get your physique from being super skinny to built up with a lot of muscle, sort of like this. This is me. I'm at 175 pounds in this picture. When I first started working out, I was 145 pounds. And so over time, I put on muscle. And this is going to be about body game for those guys that want to build up muscle. I didn't use any type of performance enhancing at all. All I did was eat food. I did drink a little bit of protein shakes along the way. But we're going to get started into the most important things that you need in order to get a physique that's going to be similar to this no matter where you're starting. But this is, like I said, this is for the skinnier guys that want to add muscle because that's what I have the most experience with. I do know about losing body fat, but that's going to be in a different video if I decide to make it. So first things first, if you haven't seen my other video, you don't have to go watch it, but I recommend it. But this first thing that most skinny guys get wrong or fail to do is understanding how many calories they need to eat in order to build muscle and gain weight. A lot of the time, the main thing I hear from skinny guys is I know I'm eating a lot, I eat all this stuff and I just can't gain weight. Well, the problem is you still got to eat more. Whatever you're doing, you're not eating enough. And one of the best ways to know if you are eating enough is to track your calories. Some people don't like tracking calories, and others love it because it does provide some type of accuracy that is better than you guessing how many calories you are doing it, or better than counting the calories in your head. We're going to start off with that first. We're going to go to MyFitnessPal, which is an app you can download on your mobile phone. So if you have your phone with you, go ahead and download MyFitnessPal right now and pause the video. Come back after you download MyFitnessPal, and here I've got it pulled up on my computer. It all pretty much works the same. So it's used to track your calories and see so you can keep track of how much you are eating in a day. And right now I'm going to give an example of where you should start. If you're a skinny guy and you need to build muscle, I'm going to show you a starter for which direction you can go into. You can change any of these foods for yourself because everybody eats different foods. I'm not telling you have to eat these foods. I'm showing you how to get towards the amount of calories you need because in the beginning, that's the most important thing is one, hitting the calories. All right, so let's go into this. First, we're going to talk about breakfast. I'm going to give you some ideas here. There's a good brand of bagels that has a little bit of protein, and that's called Dave's Killer Bagels. So we're going to look for that one real quick. Dave's Killer Bagels. Yeah. All right. So it says organic. So even if you wanted to get a little bit healthy, I guess you can get organic. And you see one bagel has what, 260 calories. It's low in fat. And the protein is 13 grams. That's for one bagel. So actually, yeah, you say if you just ate one bagel, we're going to add that to the food diary. You can start off there. That's going to give you 260 calories. Now, for me, I like to eat chicken sausage for breakfast when I have it available. Most people aren't going to have the same grocery store, so you'd have to find something that's similar. So a grocery store brand chicken sausage or whatever popular brand chicken sausage that you can find is also low in fat, 5 grams. For this chicken sausage, that's one link, and it's 21 grams of protein in one link. That's the same as eating a protein bar right there. So this is why I do the chicken sausage because when you rather eat some food other than choosing to eat a protein bar, I would rather choose to eat food, especially something like sausage. Pause. Anyway, I actually go with 2 links. You can go with 1 or 2 links depending on how much food you can eat. But the main thing I'm going to say right here, guys, if you are skinny and you say that you're eating enough food, chances are you probably are not. And one of the biggest obstacles you're going to have to overcome is eating food when you're full because you're going to have to force your body to get used to a new amount of food that you're eating. And that's one of the hardest parts for most guys. They are too afraid to eat more food because they're going to complain and whine and say, "Oh, I'm so full. I feel uncomfortable. It feels miserable." I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I had to do the same thing too. There was no way I was going to build muscle without doing it. So you can try to hide from it as much as you want. You can try to find other ways around it, but there is no other way. That's the answer. That's why you're stuck right now. That's why you're watching this video. I'm telling you, as a skinny guy that has done it, you will not be able to get anywhere if you don't get over the feeling of being full, being uncomfortable because you're stuffing your face with calories. You just have to do this because that's all it is. You're giving your food an excess amount. You're giving your body an excess amount of food. So anyway, we got the chicken sausage here. And you can see our numbers are looking good. You may be a beginner, so these numbers don't mean a lot to you. So just focus on the calories at least for right now. So this is 540 calories. Um, you know what protein is. So you look at that 55 grams of protein in one meal. That is actually really good. That's uncommon for most people to get 55 grams of protein in their food, but they don't eat smart like this. So that's why I'm showing you some of these tricks. Like I said, you don't have to eat these exact same foods, but this is just recommended. This is something I would eat because it covers all my bases as far as like hitting a lot of calories, hitting high protein. This is very high protein already. 55 calories. The average person might get 25 in a meal sometimes, and then they're eating a lot of fat with theirs. And ours is not that fatty, but we're gonna add some fat now anyway. So now I'll go with a whole egg. One egg, no matter how you track it, is going to be 70 calories for most whole eggs, even though this one says 80. I'll just go ahead and say 70. And even on the cartons, there's nutrition facts on the egg cartons. You could scan the cartons. If you're using your phone, just use your phone to scan some of the products that you use. You'll get these to come up on the app. So that'll make it a little bit more accurate for your branding, like getting the right brand and tracking it properly. And anyway, we're gonna add one egg. I'm gonna be nice to y'all. I usually will eat like two eggs actually. No, let's keep it real. I eat two eggs when I do mine. So that puts me at 680 calories. So already this is gonna seem like a lot of food, which is good because this is the whole point, guys. That's what I'm telling you. If you're skinny, you got to get over the fact that you're eating a lot of food. It's gonna feel like a Thanksgiving meal every single day until you get your body to the point where you want it and you're happy with it. So just get that in your mind right now because a lot of this is mindset, just like with anything that you do. It's always going to be something related to mindset. That's what stops everybody. This is the reason why everybody can't be successful because everybody doesn't have the right mindset. And so the same thing applies with this. You got to have your mind set up to do this because your body is going to feel horrible sometimes because you're eating so much food. Over time, your body will get so used to it, you will start to starve on the same amount of calories. All right, so we've got Dave's Killer Bread, we got the chicken sausage, and we got a whole egg. Now we'll look and see what else we got. Keep it real. What I'll also do is I usually drink coffee, and then black coffee doesn't really have any calories. But the other thing is I do add, let's add some food. I do add sugar. I don't know if it's called white sugar or whatever. Yeah, I do add sugar, and then generally, it's gonna probably be about like three servings of sugar. Is that teaspoons? Yeah, it's probably close to 3 teaspoons. I drink like 2 cups of coffee. It's gonna be roughly 3 teaspoons of sugar for me. And so this was what a typical breakfast for me would look like here. This is 730 calories, and your calories could increase if you're using things like butter to cook your chicken sausages and eggs. I personally would recommend something else. If you don't want to add extra calories, you could do Pam cooking spray. There you go. So that doesn't really add extra calories there. You see that was like 2 calories. So that's a low calorie way to cook your meat and your eggs. If you wanted to add calories, say if you wanted to go overboard with bulking, which I don't recommend for most people, then you would actually cook with something like olive oil, which has a ton of calories per serving. You see 1 tablespoon of olive oil is 120 calories. So you could boost your meal by 120 calories, which is a little secret that I'm going to reveal right now. If you ever need to boost up any of your meals, 120 calories right there. Granted, just keep it in mind, it is going to be fat that you're adding to your meal. You're not going to be adding protein, but as long as your protein's good, it doesn't matter as much. Like here, like you see, this is 67 grams of protein in a meal. This is insane. Most of you won't be able to actually stomach this on the first time around, so you may have to shorten some of these, but I am giving you a example of types of foods to eat or how to structure your plan for yourself. So that's the whole point. It's not me giving you specific food saying you got to eat it. You just start piecing things together based on what you see me doing. All right, so that would be a breakfast right there, 730 calories. And then now for lunch, I keep it very simple, or I would. I'm only showing you hypotheticals for what I would eat. I'm usually eating sirloins. Yeah, so sirloin tip steak. Sometimes I eat 2 servings of steak in a meal. I try to actually let's dumb it down a little bit. In most cases, I'll buy a bunch of steak or I'll buy a pack of steak, and instead of eating the whole thing, I'll try to break it down a little bit so that way I'll have some left for another meal. So each pack of steak for me, I split it up in 2 meals if possible. Sometimes I get beside myself, I get super hungry, and I just go ahead and eat it as is. So we'll say we got sirloin steak because I usually get sirloins. If you get steak, you want the leaner cuts of the meat if possible. Never get like the fatty ones like ribeyes and all that stuff with the bones. And you want to get lean cuts like New York strip and sirloin if you're going to do beef. There's nothing wrong with doing beef depending on your body, but personally, I like to do a lot of beef. I eat some chicken, but chicken is really boring, and then I do some fish. So you could substitute the steak for any other protein that you like. And I'm not going to talk about if you're vegan or not. Don't have a lot of suggestions because I have not done it before. But if you're a meat eater, substitute this out for steak, I mean for chicken, and it doesn't have to be chicken breast if that's what you're thinking. It can be chicken thighs if that's what you like. Chicken thighs will have a little bit more calories because of the fat. Don't recommend drumsticks, but you could also try those too. Literally, you just need to get some food in right now. So keep it simple. Steak, chicken, fish, pick a protein. And now for me, my meals are usually very simple, the meals that I cook for myself. So we're just going to do some jasmine rice and we'll just do 1 cup of rice. So it's like general 1 serving a cup of rice, just similar to when you go to a Asian restaurant or a Chinese restaurant. They usually give you like 1 cup of rice dumped on. Sometimes, depending on where you're eating, they may give you a little bit more. But that gives you an idea. Usually a cup of rice is about 200 calories. In this case, this is jasmine white rice, and on this scale here is saying that's 181. So we'll take that for right now. And this only gives me 600 calories. Um, I could do some other things to add more to this. Just to show you an example here, and I would just play around with it. You could add fruit. So something I would possibly have is just like an orange, add some fruit to it. Or another thing I would add is some kale. So this is adding more carbohydrates right here. And then I might flavor some of the rice, or like when I'm cooking the steak or the kale, I might use a little bit of olive oil here. And we'll see, 1 serving. I'm going to reduce that a little bit. I probably wouldn't use a full cup. Let's see if I can edit it. I mean, I probably wouldn't use a full serving. I use about a half serving of olive oil here. And so, yeah, that will give me 726 calories. So now you see there's a slight pattern here that I make it easy to split my meals up kind of evenly so that way I can try to meet all my calories within the day. I'm not someone that snacks too often throughout the day. So if you are struggling to get these high calorie meals like this, you could lower the calories in your breakfast and then add a snack throughout before you get to lunch, and then you can get the lunch that could be lower calories, and then you could add a snack and then do dinner. So that would be like a five times eating 5 times a day setup, but I'm doing it 3 times a day setup because this is how I normally eat. I like to eat large meals when I do it. Either way, like I said, guys, you're gonna have to get used to being full. So this is what I do. Now you see 67 grams of protein in my first meal, 51 grams of protein in my other meal. So this would give us about how many, I should be able to do this math in my head, but I'm not able to. So we're going to do 67 plus 51, that's 118 grams of protein. So that's already a good start. And then with dinner, let's try something a little bit different now. Let's say you want to go out to eat for dinner. I'm going to show you something that I do when I want to go out to eat. Um, just move over here. This is Canva, but we're going to actually go to the Chipotle website. Now, the good thing about the Chipotle website, I'm trying to see if how it looks on your side. The good thing about the Chipotle website is that they have a place where you could just get like the nutrition. So yeah, at the top, we're going to click on nutrition, and then it gives you the opportunity to calculate your meal. And what I do is a burrito bowl, and I'm going to show you this is like a foolproof way to make sure you hit your calories and you still eat foods you enjoy. So let's say since I've already eaten steak once today, then I'm going to choose a different protein for this meal. I usually don't eat steak twice in a day. I do switch up the proteins if I do it this way. So we're going to choose chicken, and we're going to go double. So that tells you it's going to give you 64 grams of protein. And 360 calories. All right, so that's a lot. That's good. Assuming that they give you double chicken the way they should. And now we're going to choose white rice or brown rice. You could choose either or. I know people have a lot of debate about which one to choose. I'm a white rice eater, so that's what I'm going to choose. We're already at 570 calories. I choose to go with no beans because I feel like I already have enough carbohydrates, and black beans are more carbohydrates. I don't feel like I need more. But you could choose to do that, but you want to be mindful of your calories and numbers here. I'm trying to make sure it does show it at the top. Let me move this over some. All right, so now you can see it does the same thing MyFitnessPal does for you as well. And you could actually test this out with other restaurants and see if they have something similar. Most restaurants are getting things like this since the world has become a little bit more health conscious. Plus, also bodybuilders and people in the fitness industry have gone to restaurants now and they have asked for things like this. So this is why Chipotle is the #1 stop I go for eating. Technically, this is fast food, but it's planned fast food because you already know what you're going to get. You already know the estimate of calories. So we'll move on. I'll get something like salsa, and I wouldn't recommend the corn because that adds a big boost right there. The corn salsa actually does have just a little bit of protein, but I don't think it's worth it. And I wouldn't recommend adding the sour cream because it adds so much fat onto your meal. So here I would add the veggies because that's cool. You can add a little bit of cheese depending on where your calories and your fat is for the day. I would add cheese here, and then of course I'll add some lettuce if you want to. But this is an example of what I would add. And no matter what you choose to add, you can literally just play around with the numbers until it looks satisfactory for you. And you could go back to MyFitnessPal. Let's see if we could break this down. You could go back to MyFitnessPal and you could just add those numbers in from MyFitnessPal. Let's see if it's showing everything correctly. Oh no, I got my internet tab messed up. 1 second. All right, so yeah, you can go back to MyFitnessPal, and then all we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to create a custom meal, add food, and there should be something for frequent my foods. You have not added any personal foods yet. Let's see if I can remember. I'll go to the My Foods tab and create food. So you're just gonna call this you're gonna call the restaurant Chipotle, obviously, and then it's gonna be you can put double chicken bowl, whatever you need to describe it. So Chipotle double chicken bowl, 1 serving. No, we don't want this. No, we don't want their stuff from their database. All right, so we'll go, let's say 1 serving, 1 serving. All right, calories from this we saw is 730 calories. So we're actually creating a food on the my food tab, and fat was 26%. So we're gonna put 26 grams, 75 grams of protein, which this is astronomical amount of protein in a meal. So I know you guys thinking I'm making this up, but this is what it takes. So that way you can stop being scared. I'm going to get real with you. You need to go ahead and swallow this pill and realize, okay, and realize this is what it takes, guys. You think people are ending up with muscles and looking good and having six packs, all stuff by accident. It's not. These guys are out here eating along with their working out. And the eating is actually one of the biggest parts. I know you already know how to, I know you already know how to work out. Most people do. But if you don't, that's something else that we can discuss another time. So now we've got the full bowl added in there, and then this is our dinner. We're not going to add anything else. We're just concerned with calories, fat, carbs, and protein. And then we're going to save serving size, half cup cook. Please provide a valid serving size, one bowl. Okay, serving size is one bowl. Oh, oh, servings. Okay, it's the other way around. One bowl should go there, and then we're gonna say servings per container is one. All right, cool. So now we even added in the Chipotle meal there, and let's see what we got. So that's 730 calories. Now at the bottom, it shows us the total amount that we have. And even with this, now guys, that's not enough. That's why I need to show you this. When you add up these numbers and stuff, you could eat all that. And look, your total is at 2,100 calories for today. That's not enough. That's not enough to bulk up. 2,100 calories, man, that's nothing. So here, you just have to fill in some blanks now. I'm not even going to fill in the rest for you. I'm just going to give you this because I don't want to overload you with too much information all in one video. I'm actually going to show you this and then say from here you might actually want to take the 5-step method. Think about this. If your goal was to add, let's say you were going to 3,000, you have 900 calories left. So you would pick two snacks that you could probably get yourself to 450. So you know, a little bit of granola. So I guess I'm gonna lie. I'm lying a little bit. I'm gonna give you just a little bit more. So you could go yogurt. We're gonna do Greek yogurt. That's a little bit better right there. Go with Greek yogurt if you can. If you can't eat yogurt, it depends. And I go with the plain non-fat. You want, or not plain. It doesn't have to be plain, but it does. You do want non-fat Greek yogurt. That's the importance of getting Greek yogurt, is it doesn't contain a lot of fat. Sometimes it's going to have real fruit that'll give you some sugar, but that's not really a huge concern for the most part. So you could have something like yogurt and granola. You could have protein powder, chocolate, or whatever flavor you like. I can't spell that right. Um, 1 scoop. I don't even know what protein powder this is, but I'm just saying here, you just add some protein powder inside your Greek yogurt with some granola. Some people like to mix their protein powder and Greek yogurt. It does seem okay tasting, even though I don't like a lot of stuff mixed. This does turn out okay. But yeah, that gives you 419 calories, and you just if you were to double all those servings, that will get you really close to 3,000. And yes, that's a lot of food. I know food is expensive, but it does cost money to build a better body, unfortunately. But that's the way the world works. Everything that's good does cost a little bit of money, or takes a little bit of effort. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments, or if you need some clarification on anything else about what we went through on how to get started on building your own diet plan to improve your body game. But guys, this is what it's going to take so that you can build up muscle and not be so skinny.